Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on Consumer Protection Act 1986. The topic of our presentation is filing of complaints. Now this presentation will help you understand about the various consumer complaints which can be filed under Consumer Protection Act for seeking redress. Now first of all, who can file a complaint under this act? Who can actually go and approach the district, national, or state commission and file a complaint. But obvious, a consumer. So the very first point says a consumer can file a complaint. A consumer is anybody who is using the product or service, or he or she has paid for buying the product or service. So a consumer can file a complaint. The law goes on and tells you that if a consumer cannot file a complaint, some consumer associations, some voluntary consumer associations can actually file a complaint. Third, central or state government can file a complaint in case they find that the interest is hurt. Fourth, not just one single consumer or a consumer association for other consumers, it can also be a collective effort of seeking redressal. So one or more consumers can also file a complaint where they have same kind of problems. So consumers having same interests can actually file a complaint under this Consumer Protection Act for seeking redressal. So the same kind of redressal or solution will apply to all the consumers because they have same problem. Fifth, legal heir or representative in case of death of a consumer. So in case unfortunately the consumer has expired, so in that case his legal heir or representative, their family members or the lawyer can actually go in and file a consumer complaint on his behalf. So these are the 5 types of people who have been sanctioned the authority to file a complaint by the Consumer Protection Act. Now we move further. So let's say what kind of complaints can be filed? As in, consumers can have many problems. They are charged excess price or they are not happy with the kind of service that they have been rendered. So they can file complaints for various types of things. So under the act, the act says a consumer can file a complaint relating to one or more of the following. First point, unfair trade practice or a restricted trade practice adopted by any trader or service providers. So if you see that any service provider or a shopkeeper is not following a fair trade practice, he is discriminating or he is using a restrictive trade practice to suppress the free trade, then you can file a complaint against him that he is not following the rules of the trade. Second point, goods bought by him or agreed to be bought by him suffer from one or more defect. So in case you have been given a defective product, you can go in and file a complaint. Third point, the product is fine, the service is fine, but you actually find that there is some deficiency in some respect. Maybe the product is not performing up to the mark. For example, a TV which does not show any display is a defective product. But let's say the TV is working, it is showing audio and video, but you are not able to see it clearly. So there's some deficiency in the display, there's something lacking in that product or service. You can file a complaint with the consumer courts. Fourth, everything was fine with the product or the trade practice was also fine, but you later on found that the product has some problem which might result in some hazard for life of the people. So if the goods or services are hazardous to life and safety of consumers at large, then a complaint can be filed and such hazardous products should be stopped from selling in the market. So for example, firecrackers or electronic products which are having faulty electrical circuits and they might actually result in short circuit and fire. These are the kinds of hazardous products which should be stopped. Fifth, price charge in excess of the price. So there are various standards which have to be followed by in pricing policy, but at times you will find that the shopkeeper is either charging you very high or he is not charging the right price as decided by the various authorities or government. So in that case you can go in and file a complaint that I have been charged price in excess of what the law says or what is displayed on the product or what is displayed in the menu or the list of the shopkeeper. So whatever they have shown you as a price, they are actually charging you more than that. So you can go in and file a complaint for this excessive pricing. Now we know who can file a complaint, what kind of complaints you can file, but where to go with this complaint. So our next topic is where to file a complaint. What door to approach and how do I know which door to approach? So we have also studied the three-tier grievance redressal machinery, which says that we have consumer courts at three levels: district, state, and national level. And these courts hear complaints depending upon the size of your problem. So, depending upon what is the compensation that you have claimed and the value of the goods and services in that particular bill, you can file a complaint in either of these three levels of district courts, depending upon the value, monetary value of your complaint. So, if the value does not exceed 20 lakh, you have to approach the district forum, which is there as a consumer court in each and every district in India. If your complaint size is more than 20 lakh but limited to 1 crore, that means it is somewhere between 20 lakhs and 1 crore, then you have to approach the state commission. So every state has one consumer court at the state level. So you have to approach that. In case your problem is really large and the monetary value exceeds rupees 1 crore, then the complaint has to be filed with the National Commission. So you go on and approach the National Commission with your complaint. So you know what complaints to file, who can file a complaint, and where to approach with your problem to seek solution. Okay, so you have reached the right door. You know where to go, district, state, or national commission, but you don't know the procedure of it. So what is the procedure to file a complaint? A complaint can be made in person or by any authorized agent or by post. So you can go to the district forum's office and take a plain piece of paper and write your problem with on that paper, supported with some documentary evidence stating what kind of problem you faced, or you approach the shopkeeper also with your problem, but your problem was not solved. So you attach all kinds of tax invoice, bills, payment receipts to show that yes, that transaction happened, and you also write your problem in there. Now this plain piece of paper can either be submitted to the court, consumer court, in hand. That means you can go to their office and submit it, or you can send it by post or email, or you can also send somebody on your behalf. That means an authorized agent can also go on your behalf and submit the complaint. But since you are seeking redressal, you need to, clearly specify the kind of relief that you are seeking. So the complaint should clearly specify the relief sought. What do you want? You want replacement of the product, you want monetary compensation, or you want the shopkeeper to be penalized for wrong trade practices. You need to specify what kind of grievance redressal you are seeking. And lastly, for a complaint to, find the right solution, you need to state the facts really well. So you need to tell the nature, description, and address of the complainant as well as the opposite party. So you need to tell where do you live and who is the shopkeeper or the service provider from whom you have purchased these goods. And you need to also mention the facts related with the problem. Now we are through. We have almost done our part. Now it is the time of the consumer court to actually give you redressal. That means to solve your problem and compensate you or relieve you of your problem. So what kind of reliefs are available to consumers? First, if the good was defective, you can seek replacement of the defective good. You may also seek removal of the defective goods in services or the services in question. So you want that you purchase a TV, but it was found to be defective, so you would want it to be replaced with a new TV. So that's replacement of the defective goods. Second thing could be that your TV is fine, but it has some minor defect, so you may also seek removal of the defect. So some spare part can be changed and the defect will be removed. Refund of the price paid, that means you don't want the good to be replaced, you don't want to keep that good either, so you just want your money to be paid back to you. So you can seek refund of the price paid. Fourth, you can seek award of compensation for loss or injury suffered. So it is not necessary that you actually seek compensation in the form of price refund only. You can also seek a compensation for any kind of loss that you have suffered or any kind of injury while using the product. So let's say you were using a mixer grinder and you were electrocuted and this led to some medical problem. So you can seek compensation for the injury that you have suffered. If it is not a problem related to the product, but the trade practices, wrong trade practices used by the producer or the seller, you can seek relief in the form of discontinuance of unfair trade practice. That means you would want the court to instruct the shopkeeper to stop using such unfair trade practices or restrictive trade practices and not to repeat them in future. Lastly, you can also seek withdrawal of hazardous or dangerous goods from being offered for sale. So, if you found that there are certain kind of hazardous products which are harmful for life of people, you can actually seek redressal in the form of altogether withdrawal of the stock from the market. So, you can see that in case of Maggie, when few years back we received complaints from people that it has some kind of hazardous content in the form of uh, toxic elements present in Maggie which are not fit for human consumption and they can be actually dangerous for your health, then the redressal or the relief sought by various complainants was withdrawal of all the stock of Maggie from the market. So you could see that it was stopped from selling in the market altogether. Last but not the least, we have filed the complaint, the court has heard it, but we all know that one of the very important objective of Consumer Protection Act 1986 was fast and speedy redressal to be rendered to our consumers. So we don't want our cases to be lingering and lingering for years and years, and we do not seek relief because we all know that justice delayed is justice denied. So we would want the cases of consumers to be heard really fast and redressal be delivered to them. So there are time limits set in which you can file a complaint or the case has to be finalized or decision has to be declared by the court. So the first time limit is on the consumer. You cannot go on suddenly, wake up one night and say that 10 years back I bought something and now it has some problem. I want to file a complaint. No, there is a limit to it. Any consumer can file a complaint only within 2 years from the date on which the cause of action had arisen. That means either you purchased the good today or you found the problem today, the cause of action. You found that the good is defective, you found it today. Within 2 years, you can actually go in and file this complaint. These 2 years can be extended by the court or they can allow the complaint to be filed in excess of this time period also, only if they find that there is a sufficient cause to justify the delay in filing the case. So as a consumer, you have 2 years to file a complaint from the date on which the problem arose. Now the ball is in the court of the court. So the ball is in the court of the consumer court. Now they have to actually dispose of it as speedily as possible within a period of 3 months from the date of notice received by the opposite party. That means the court has to decide within 3 months and provide redressal to the consumer. Where there are goods which actually require some laboratory testing, then this period is extended to 5 months. Otherwise, all the consumer cases have to be disposed of in a maximum period of 3 months from the date of notice. So, this is all regarding the consumer complaints, as in how to file, who can file it, and what kind of redressals are provided by the courts to these aggrieved consumers. So that's all regarding Consumer Protection Act. I hope you people were able to understand it well. Please keep posting your doubts in the message boxes. Thank you so much.